I am sick and tired of hearing players and coaches, talk about weight room. They got to become bigger and stronger on the ball. So they think weights is going to fix that. That has little to nothing to do with it. You're not going to increase your frame size so significantly that you're going to be able to be a hard-nosed soccer player. You're going to be able to protect the ball better. We're always missing the key indicator of technique. Now, there's technique to shielding the ball. If I played football and I played tailback, and when I had to protect the quarterback, I would have these guys running at me full speed, and I was an athletic, strong high school kid, but I didn't understand the technique of protecting the quarterback. Someone's running at me that's a lot bigger than me in football, and there's different forces of technique to protect that quarterback, about how low you get, how you plant your feet, where you lean your weight, shifting, all those things. I would get run over nonstop. I mean, nonstop. And I didn't understand. No one taught me. Our football coaches at the time, they didn't teach technique. They're like, you got to go harder. I'm like, I didn't even know what that meant. So, to get leverage, I would sometimes run at the player. And of course, he'd just move right by me or swim over me using different techniques. I only played football 1 year, my senior year, and I had no clue what I was doing. And I was the fastest one on the team. I mean, I was successful, but there's so many different techniques. I didn't know how to tackle. I just didn't understand the techniques of doing those things. I was never taught. So there's technique things in soccer that will allow you to be able to be stronger on the ball. If it's about becoming bigger and stronger and those things, Neymar would not be one of the best soccer players in the world. Messi would be one of the best soccer players in the world. Ronaldo, he lifts weights because he's so different than the 8-year-old Ronaldo. He's bigger today because he lifts weights, but I think he does it just because he does it, just to look good. But Ronaldo's career wouldn't have changed because his bench press changed. I just think, where resistance matters for strengthening and protecting the body. Resistance matters. I get it. But increasing resistance for the sole purpose of protecting the ball and be stronger on it it's a fallacy. It's not true. And I'll give you an example. So I'm always trying to learn how to do things right. I didn't learn how to protect the soccer ball until my 30s. My 30s, when a player I was training showed me how to do it. And he learned it when he was in... he went to Ecuador to try to go pro, but one of the coaches at the time that was training him was on the Argentinian national team. I need to find out who this was. And he showed him this technique of how to become, strong on the ball. And he demonstrated for me how he can protect the ball. So he's like, hey, push me. So I push him, with my shoulder. So I kind of went into him. And then he goes, all right, do it again. He goes, okay, now try. And then I push him again. And it was like hitting a brick wall. I was like, what the freak was that? It was like a brick wall. I'm like, it hurt. And I'm like, then I started trying to push him over, like, hard. And I couldn't do it. I'm like, are you kidding me? And then he explained the technique. So what he did is he shifted all his weight to his front foot at the exact time I was making contact. And the degrees of force of that and the timing of it was perfect, to the point he he applied his force at the maximum amount when I was applying my force. Now my force was different. Mine was going through. His force was more of acceleration and coming to a compact stop to rebound off what I was doing. And he put all his weight on the front foot, where for me, when I would shoot the ball, I would put even distribution of weight and strength on left and right foot. He would put it all on his front foot. And for me, I'm going to blow my knee out. And that's not the case. He transitioned all his weight there. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I could not believe what I have learned. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So then I started teaching it to kids I train, and we do dribbling exercises and how to transition your feet to one side of the ball to protect it, versus what most kids do. They like squeeze all the muscle groups and just hold on firm, and they become a statistic of getting destroyed. So I learned it for one. And there's so many different ways to apply it. It's crazy where you can like have the ball, be dribbling the ball with, 1 foot, players coming in, and then you immediately transition your feet to one side and putting your shoulder into their shoulder and applying the correct force, and the timing would literally hurt the other player. And then I watch games and stuff on TV. I'm like, oh my gosh, there it is. I saw this one play. This Man U player, this player is going full speed on him, and he was going to cross the ball, but before he crossed it, he got his feet set, hit him with the correct force, applying all his weight to the same side of the player coming in, and killed this guy. I mean, killed him. He was out. His ribs had to be broken or something. But the guy that was going full speed received the most of the abuse from someone that wasn't going the same speed. He just applied the correct leverage and technique and force at the right time and killed that guy. He became a wall. It was insane. So I was teaching this, and there was this girl I coach on 96 Hammers, Abby, and she loved using the technique. And we were playing another team. We're in a couple of the top teams of state playing, and we're playing a program, a club, Banat, and they were a very good team. And they had this one girl that was just like athletic, just run full speed wherever the ball was, just kind of reckless, which a lot of girls play. They play hard and fast and with no regard to their body. Well, she was flying, and Abby stood her ground, got her weight transitioned to her front foot, and turned her shoulders, and this girl went into Abby like she was a brick wall and killed her. And it was a foul on the Banat girl that hit her. But she got killed. Like, she was out for the game. She's gone. I think she had some broken ribs or something, but and she told me, like, at halftime when we came in, she goes, I used the technique. And I'm like, yeah, I know you did. And she killed her. But she also protected herself. You have someone violent running at you, you got to deal with it. No different in football. You got to use the proper technique. So lifting weights, yeah, sure, lift weights, but it means nothing if you don't have technique. Technique will win. Technique. There's always ways to improve your technique that will surpass the amount of weight, steroids you're going to do, all that stuff to become bigger and stronger. Technique, intelligence is number one. Number two, sure, go do that, but focus on your technique. Get your feet set. Apply the correct force. Apply the timing. There's specific drills for that. So, anyways, that is it. That is my thought process today. Goodbye.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.